Oh, there
Mr.
we go.
Kokomo, hello, the celebrity
There
himself,
you go.
the worldwide celebrity.
Man,
Well, explain
the
to us
female
what,
viewership is skyrocketed.
exactly. No, people are stoked. So you are the evidence guy. You're the exhibit guy, more like the technology guy. What's your official job title?
So for sure, I'm a legal assistant. I worked with Max. I've known Max for at least, I want to say 6 or 7 years.
I think longer than that.
Yeah, I met in high school. I worked with this program which paired me with Max. I've always wanted to be a defense attorney, so they put me at the Fulton County's public defender's office as a legal assistant, and I've been working with Max ever since. And I ended up going to Georgia State University, studied political science, graduated from there, and now I'm going to law school next year. So right now I'm studying for the LSAT. So during this trial, I've been while y'all were doing that, I was kind of studying a little.
Yeah, well, it seems like with a decent LSAT score and all your experience, you should have a lot of doors open for you. I mean, they should be clamoring to try to get you to sign up. But so what's the plan? I mean, how many cases do you have to work on? Is there kind of a relief that there's a pause right now because you've got such a other caseload to get to, or what do you do?
There is, I have been so unbelievably surprised I thought when I was involved in this case, I have some clients that are in jail. And if I was in jail and my attorney was involved in this case, I would feel a certain way. I've gone to see my clients again and again and again and say, you're important too, but I just can't try your case right now. These are people awaiting trial. And the grace and understanding that my clients have shown has really been shocking. And some of them say, oh, we see you on TV, man. We see you on TV. You're doing your thing. And it's just blown me away how understanding some of my other clients have been. It makes me sad that I'm not able to actively try their case at this moment, but it's just been. And the other thing is the other judges, especially in Fulton County, they have caseloads. They have reports that say how many cases are open. They have to deal with families sometimes showing up in court complaining things taking too long, alleged victims complaining things have taken too long, and the judges in Fulton County have been unbelievably kind and understanding to me through this process, and I really appreciate that. And they haven't given me a hard time at all. They know where I've been, but that's made the whole process a lot easier. But yes, I am working on my clients' cases along with this case right now. I had court this morning. I was able to obtain the release of 2 of my clients, so that was great. So I'm just continuing to move forward and trying to use this time wisely.
Yeah, congratulations. Were those bail motions or how did
they were bond motions.
Yeah, I saw Doug Weinstein commented on Twitter a while back. I think he got in bond for a defendant, and that it was just the kind of night and day difference between that process and the process he'd gone through with YSL. Because I actually just did an interview with Dateline NBC's podcast is doing something on this, and I was trying to explain the bond process, but it happened really before I started covering the trial. I mean, there was an initial bond hearing and then a reconsideration, but was there anything after that? I mean, it was kind of thought to be a lost cause after that with Glanville.
Other than one of the individuals, Miles Farley, he was granted bond later on. But you said something important that I want to go back to. So you're telling me that Doug Weinstein was on Instagram bragging about getting one of his clients released. Is that what you're telling me?
Twitter. It was something like that. I remember he was contrasting it with like it's so nice to be in a court where justice prevails or something, and his client can be out preparing for trial or
humble
something.
bragging. I'm going to have to talk to Doug about.
Yeah,
I'm going to confront him about that.
Yeah, well, I one question I have to ask you. I think you're on Twitter active as Max something, but when I first looked you up, when I was looking up all the attorneys on opening statements day, I saw the not guilty ATL handle for Twitter, and it's like been dormant since 2011. But I'm like, what can you do to get that account back? That's a pretty good handle.
Yeah, well, that's what I was told. I signed up for that when I knew nothing about Twitter, and I just made that my name. And then people that knew more said, "Oh, that's a great handle." And then I didn't even know how to tweet. So that was like from like many years ago. So maybe I need to start with that. But if you follow me, I'm into legal stuff. Sometimes I don't talk too much, but I'm mostly about the New York Knicks.
Okay.
So I'm FKA, formerly known as, and is usually play one of the players I like or pay one of the players I like or things like that. It's very Knick centric. So I probably confuse my fellow Knick fans with some of the legal interests that I have. And I probably confuse some of the people that are interested in legal stuff with my random musings about the New York Knicks. But
well, my reporter friend at the LA Times, James Quealy, could talk with you for hours. He's a huge Knicks fan. He's from New Jersey and just had a baby and is bombarding him with all this baby Knicks stuff. But I think I saw something. Yes. You're also a baseball fan, right?
I am a baseball fan, big baseball fan. That's something that myself and Brian have in common. Yankee fans.
Do you guys go to Braves games at all?
We went to a Brave game not too long ago and had a great time. So yeah, I'm into that. I'm into baseball cards. I'm like maybe an adult during the day and kind of have some childlike qualities with some of my interests and hobbies, sports, baseball cards, things of that nature. But I have a 9-year-old son, so that's
okay, perfect. Well, yeah. I recently moved to downtown LA, so I can get to Dodger Stadium really quick. So I've been going to as many Dodgers games as I can there. Yeah, it's nice. The Red Sox are this weekend, and then the Giants roll into town soon. You gotta look up the schedule and go to all the fans.
I once, and this is another nerdy thing. I went to spring training, while all the other guys that were 20-something were going to like Daytona Beach for bike weeks and stuff. I went to spring training where like the average age is like 65. And I saw a Dodger game in Vero Beach, I think it is. And it was really something because it was just a Dodger blue everywhere. It was amazing. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Well, realistically though, how much time have you had for that over the last, year and a half, or gosh, how long has it been? Because it just seems like we all know it hasn't been every day and it's a very leisurely comfort break schedule. You are still basically on call every day. Right. And the idea that when the trial's over, you just go home and forget about it. I mean, you need to prepare for the next day.
Right. And that's what, when people say, oh, well, this case is not moving quick, or, they're not working that hard. And I don't think they're talking about the defense attorneys, but I'd almost rather be in court than be out of court waiting for further instructions or because at some point when you really care about what you're doing, you can't get it out of your head and you just end up spending more and more time obsessing about it as opposed to just getting in there and getting it done and moving on to the next thing. So, right. So we haven't necessarily had a set schedule that you could really rely on. So yeah, things like vacations and family vacations and things like that have kind of gone the wayside this summer, which I hate because, as a father, I'm never going to get those times back. But it's just the reality right now.
Yeah.